Welcome to the country Xanada. For Xanada, we're going to draw the PPC line. First of all, you have to understand where the information comes from. In this case, Xanada is a country that can produce two things: laptops and mobile phones, right? But they can't produce an infinite amount of both because they have limited amount of resources. Now we tell you, for Xanada, they have so many resources that they can produce 5,000 laptops. But if they produce 5,000 laptops, they have nothing left to produce mobile phones. So this is one combination. If they produce 5,000 laptops, they can't produce any mobile phones. Or they can produce a bit less. They can produce 4,000 laptops. Then they have enough resources left to produce 10,000 phones. Right. We also tell you there's another scenario, combination C, where Xanada can produce 3,000 laptops, and then they have enough to produce 18,000 mobile phones. Right. Here's another scenario, so combination D. If Xanada produces 2,000 laptops, they have enough resources left to produce 24,000 mobile phones. So at one point they can produce both 2,000 laptops and 24,000 mobile phones. At point E, if they produce 1,000 laptops, they have enough resources left to produce 28,000 mobile phones. And lastly, if they produce only mobile phones, if they use all their resources in mobile phones, they can produce 30,000 mobile phones. But then they have nothing left to produce any laptops. Right, so these are all possible combinations where Xanada can be. Now let's make this small and put it in the corner. Now it's important to be able to draw this PPC. And in order to draw a PPC, we first need some axes. So let's put the axes in there. Now the first very important step is to name your axis, to label it. This is very important. We might tell you in the exam, put laptops on the y-axis and mobile phone on the x-axis. And then you do exactly that. Let's put laptops on the y-axis. So we write here laptops. Oops. Let's make the T a bit nicer. And then I put a little 0 to show the origin. Then on my x-axis I write mobile phones. Now comes the fun part, to plot the information given in the table. Let's start with combination A. Combination A, we can produce 5,000 laptops. Now that's a lot, but then we can't produce any mobile phones. So point A is over here. Okay, let's look at point B. Point B, we can produce 4,000 laptops, right? But then we can produce a nice amount of mobile phones. We can produce about 10,000 mobile phones. Now when you do this in exam, make sure you use a ruler so everything is nice and straight, right? So that's point B, 4,000 laptops and 10,000 mobile phones. Let's go to point C over here. Point C says we can produce 3,000 laptops together with 18,000 mobile phones. Let's say 3,000 laptops together with 18,000 mobile phones. So here's 18,000, and this is point C. Let's look at point D with black. Point D, we can produce 2,000 laptops together with 24,000 mobile phones. Okay, so that's about here somewhere. That's point D. Now point E, I'm going to show again in red. I can produce 1,000 laptops together with 28,000 mobile phones. So it's 28,000 mobile phones. I forgot to write in the 2,000, the previous one. That's point D is 24,000 mobile phones. This is point E. And then last but not least is point F. Then I can't produce any laptops, but I produce 30,000 mobile phones. And this is point F. Now let's connect all the dots. And that is your PPC. So we can call this line your PPC of Xanada. Can you see where I got every point from? If you go back to every single point, you can see A is 5,000 and 0. 5,000 and 0. B is 4,000 laptops and 10,000 mobile phones. B is 4,000 laptops and 10,000 mobile phones. C is 3,000 laptops and 18,000 mobile phones. We showed here as well. C is 3,000 laptops and 18,000 mobile phones. At point D, we can produce 2,000 laptops together with 24,000 mobile phones. So D is the same as the table. At E, we can simultaneously produce 1,000 laptops and 28,000 phones. So here we have 1,000 laptops, 28,000 phones. And then lastly, point F, we can't produce any laptops, but we can produce a maximum of 30,000 mobile phones. So point F, no laptops, but a maximum of 30,000 mobile phones.